Hey guys, this is going to be game one of a doubles tournament we played in Atomic Empire this weekend. And this game one's going to be Orcs and Orcs versus Skaven and Ogres. For my teammate, I asked Ian if he'd be my teammate. You probably remember him. He's a Lizardman player. He's in one of my battle reports. He's in several of Ben's. He's in some of Once Bitten's. He even played Malorian at Brawler Bash. I think it was game 2 or 3 of that tournament. So I asked him if he'd be my teammate for this. And we were trying to decide what we were going to match up. He was trying to decide between like warriors or vampires. We were trying to get a good synergy to go with the orcs. We were very close to having a Throg horde to go with the orcs, but you couldn't fit a BSB and Throg into a 1250 list. So we decided against that, and I was like, maybe we could do double orcs, get double big and horde in here. Maybe that work out. I emailed him a list. He really liked it. He thought it'd be a good idea. So that's what we're going to be doing, double orcs. So let's take a look at these two orc armies we're going to have. And you'll probably notice at the end of this, two 1250 orc armies allied is much, much stronger than one 2500 point orc army. For instance, we have two Savage Big and Hordes. We're going to have 4 Doom Divers. We still have tons of chaff. We have the level 4 and our orc general. This list is just way better than a regular orc and goblin army list. And we still, we have two Mangler Squigs, a couple Wolf Rider units. We got a medium-sized unit of Squigs. We got a bunker, and we still have a single troll. So this is going to be very, very interesting. And we only have to worry about having the one BSB since we're from the same army book. We can use each other's generals. This is shaping up to be a really good, strong list. Before our first game, I was able to get a couple of pictures of our little armies here, and this would be the one I had for myself, the Big and Horde, the bunker, and stuff like that. Basically, I took the bunker and the BSB, which let him have the Squig Horde and the level 1 Shaman. We're going to be mixing up. We're not going to be worrying about who's controlling what for most of the army here. This is his part. But we're not really worrying about whose belongs to whose. We're just working together, trying to get the best out of this. But you can see here, I really started dragging the bottom of the barrel, getting as many Savage Orcs as I could. I used all my new Boar Boys, all my old medals. I've got extra Shaman in here. It's just crazy. In our first game, we're going to be matched up against Ben and Tom. They're running Ogres and Skaven, and like mine was all my models. This can be all of Tom's models. So basically, Ian and Ben were able to show up at the tournament, not having to bring any models, just their rule books. But they were able to get Iron Blaster, 2 Warp Lightning, have a Grey Seer, and you can see between our Doom Divers and all their shooting. I think everybody was worried about double warriors, and there was one double warriors army there, but it could have been. I think everybody was worried because so many people play as warriors. There's going to be lots of double demon princes and double 3+ ward save guys. And because of that, there was a whole lot more war machines. There's lots of cannons. I think there was a double Empire Lord Inquisitor and one of his friends from Cobra Kai. They were on double Empire. There's a Dwarf Empire Alliance with lots of war machines. We had a lot of war machines. I think everybody was just worried about double warriors. Apparently, I know that's what we were worried about. That's why we had the 4 Doom Divers. Here's a look at our left side of our deployment. We pretty much stack up all our combat stuff over here. We have some Doom Divers in our bunker right behind them. And basically, this is like a response to the fact that they put their Warmfang on the other side of that building, as you can see in the next picture. And so since the Warmfang are on this side of the table, we decided just to have some Manglers here and Wolf Riders to pretty much try to take these Mornfang out of the game for as long as possible. We'll see a couple quick pictures here of the different vanguards. He's vanguarding his wolves up like this, and I vanguard my wolves up like this, just up here. I really couldn't get any closer to the rat dart, and I figured the rat dart might charge me, and there's much else I could do. Now, the general theme for this tournament is I'm not allowed to roll animosity dice. Ian's played me for years. If you've seen my battle reports, lately I've been having real bad problems with my savages failing animosity. So I was not supposed to roll any animosity dice. So I think it's very fitting and ironic that to start off, he fails at animosity with his savages, but they roll a 6 afterwards, so they just move up, and then they can't charge, so they're able to move normally. And then he fails at animosity on the wolf riders that have vanguarded up, so they're pretty much blocking this entire line here. So I thought that was fitting. But then I do start rolling animosity then, but I'm okay, but I fail stupidity for my troll, but it moves up 6 inches from it stumbling forward, so that's not bad. Now we go into magic, and the only spell I have is Here We Go, which is not much use right now. So we decided to hand the Gork up his savages over those wolf riders that are blocking, and we also get a Fort of Gork off on his on their plague monks with irresistible force. Then we get 2 stomps. One scatters, only kills like 3, but the other one hits right on and kills 8 plague monks, and then the spell goes away. Now from the miscast, all our casters take strength 6 hits. We fail our ward saves, so all 3 of our casters have 1 wound on them. Okay, so now we go into shooting, and he shoots both his Doom Divers, and we're trying to concentrate on the Iron Blast to start with, but both his Doom Divers misfire. One shoots wildly off the table, the other one just can't shoot this turn. So then I'm like, let's use my 4th edition artillery dice. I roll both of them. We're going to put them on the Plague Monks now because we figure we can't take the Iron Blaster out now. I get hits both times. I kill about 8 more Plague Monks. So you'll see this Plague Monk unit now is very, very depleted. Let me make a quick correction. That Doom Diver, it can't shoot this and next turn, not just for the one turn. So now we're going to the Skaven turn 1. They start moving the engineers out to start trying to slow up his savage horde. They also have a rat dart right there, and you can't see it in the picture, but it's supposed to be on those pillars, but it couldn't balance up there without falling. So they're really trying to slow down his savage horde. They're going to go into magic, and they're going to try to put, I think it's a plague, or they do get a wither off on the savages, lowering their strength by 1. I think they try to do a wither, and they kill a couple. Not a wither. There's something else, like maybe plague, and they kill a couple of his savages. So then they go into shooting. I think they both the warp lightnings shoot at the savages and kill a few. The Iron Blaster kills the Mangler that's coming up towards it. Then they have a Brass Orb and a Doom Rocket, and I think they put both of them on our bunker. And the first one scatters like 10 inches and comes back to us barely touching the big ends. I think it kills maybe 1 big end. But the second one, I think it's this with the Doom Rocket, is a direct hit right on our bunker. And it just decimates our bunker. I mean, it kills almost more than half the Night Goblins in this unit. So now I need to make a 9 with a reroll, a panic test, or basically I'm going to run off the table because the War Machine's behind it. I roll a 10, and as you see in this picture here, then I roll a 9, so they barely stay. Otherwise, that would have been very bad. Our bunker would have been right off the table, most likely. Now over here, you'll see this very embarrassing situation where the Rat Dart charges my Wolf Rider unit. Comes in, it does 1 wound. I cannot wound. I have 8 attacks. I roll 7 misses. I only get 1 hit, and then I fail to wound. This is completely embarrassing. I get beat and run down by a Rat Dart. The Rat Dart just chases them off the table. I mean, they couldn't restrain, so that was just incredibly embarrassing. But you also notice that they reform their Mornfang, and they're moving it behind the building. So this can take them a very long time now to try to get back into the game, basically. They're really worried about that other Mangler still there. So, and I think we've effectively taken this Mornfang out of the game for a good amount of time. Now we're going into Orc and Goblin turn 2. We go ahead and charge the Rat Dart with our savages. He was really hoping that we could avoid that first engineer and overrun into the second engineer, but there's really no way we could go into that Rat Dart without clipping that first engineer and basically having to go through both engineers before we could move more freely again. Other than that, I move up my troll as much as possible. That's the most I can move it. I wasn't able to keep those Iron Guts from going around it, but I'm sort of blocking a little bit here. Other than that, the Mangler comes up some, is not able to get into their armor yet. So going into magic, we really don't have much magic that really goes off. but when we're going to shooting, we have 3 Doom Drivers that can shoot, and we're trying to take out that other engineer that's by itself, so we don't have to worry about having extra combat. So basically, I roll the first Doom Driver, it scatters off, and I just say I'm going back in this direction. I needed like a 4 or 5, and I'm going to hit it. So I roll a 6, and so that makes it go on to the biggins. Ian's like, why didn't you can tell, say which direction you're going after you roll the dice. I didn't think about that. I just said I'm going back that way, so I think we killed one biggin. But we're not able to kill the engineer. I'm going to combat. The rat dart's destroyed, and it overruns and hits this engineer, and you'll see the dice there. That's where the savage is supposed to be, but we can't balance it on that. That ruins will pretend like it's a forest. It's ruins with the same rules as the forest. I mean, they have the same rules. And you also notice on the back there, the wolf riders had marched around, and they only failed one dangerous terrain test, so only one wolf died. So that's in a perfect position to charge one of those warp-like cannons our next turn. So we're going into Skaven turn 2 here, and this is they just have some general shifting a little bit here. They don't really have much movement. I'm going to Magic, they're still trying to pick on this big horde. I think we can restock most things they try to cast at it. Going into shooting. Again, they're trying to pick on the big horde. I think one of their warp lightning cannons misfires and has like a 0 strength value or something. The Iron Blast is trying to take out the Mangler, which you're going to see here in the next pick. And this Mangler is like very precariously getting up here where it can threaten most of their army. It either misses the Mangler or it rolls a 1 to wound. So this Mangler here can now, with an average roll, hit the Iron Blaster, the Iron Guts, and that Warp Lightning Cannon to a point where it'll do 3d6 on that Warp Lightning Cannon, because it cannot come out 1 inch from behind that Warp Lightning Cannon without being off the table. So this is very, very bad for their army. We're in Orc and Goblin turn 3. The Wolf Fighters start out by charging the Warp Lightning Cannon. And so then my Mangler, it gets a really good roll. I mean, it didn't need but an average roll. It goes through the Iron Blaster, the Iron Guts, and the Warp Lightning Cannon. Now, unfortunately, even with 3d6 hits on this Warp Lightning Cannon, I can only do 3 wounds. It has 4 wounds, so the Warp Lightning Cannon stays. But I do kill 2 Iron Guts, and I think I carry over a wound, and I kill the Iron Blaster. So you cannot complain about that, but still with 3d6, I was really hoping I was going to take that Warp Lightning Cannon out, and then all the war machines would have been gone. Now Magic, we go off on his big and horde. We don't get a foot off. I tried to do a 2 dice on Ere We Go for my horde, and I don't get it. I kind of wasted 2 dice. We start trying to pick on the Iron Guts with our Doom Divers, and I think I kill another Iron Gut. The other Doom Divers are just scattering off very badly. And he kills the Engineer, and he's overrun into the next Engineer, and the Savages will be way up there. That terrain's kind of blocking where they're supposed to be. And now, of course, the Wolf Riders embarrassingly can only kill 1 rat. They lose 1 in return, so they only win by 1. His general BSB is there, so the Warp Lightning Cannon stays. Going to Skaven turn 3, they charge the single troll. And if you see this picture here, this is basically showing how depleted the bunkers is. I'd moved the BSB out of the bunker into the Savage Horde. I mean, that's how dire straits this is becoming for this bunker. There's almost no Night Goblins left in it. They're concentrating a lot of shooting on it. So that's pretty much their only charge. Their magic and shooting this time doesn't really accomplish much. I mean, they have the 1 cannon left. I think they killed 1 of my biggins. And then they easily kill the troll. However, finally, my wolf fighters are able to take the other warp line cannon out. And of course, his biggins are easily kill the engineer, and they overrun again. And so they kind of look like they're out of position, but on the other hand, they're threatening that whole army on that side. Now we're in Orc and Goblin turn 4. Go ahead and charge the Squig Herd at his depleted Plague Monks. And my Savages at his Iron Guts that has his Slaughtermaster and his BSB. Now I was trying to think about where to put these Savages. I was going to want to put them more over to the left, so that when I overrun, I'd be mainly touching storm vermin here, and I knew the Warm Pink might come in, but I get a lot of combat res on the storm vermin. Ian was like, "Well, put them this way so that when they flee and you're wheeling to pursue them, you'll hit the Mournfang first. They'll have to wheel into you, and you'll keep the Mournfang from charging you. And even if you get storm vermin in the flank, that's not that big of a deal." So other than that, we have a few wheels and reforms. In Magic, we try to do a Bigfoot onto the Mournfang, but they're able to spell it. I think we have still 3 Doom Divers. I think one of them had blown itself up. We're trying to concentrate now on the Mournfang, but we only were able to kill 1 Mournfang between the 3 Doom Divers. So, that's still really good, stopping some attacks. But with 3 Doom Divers, you're almost hoping you can wipe the unit out. So now going into combat, the Squig Herd here pretty much decimates what was left of this Plague unit. It's only 3 of them left. They somehow still hold and don't break. But when we go into the Iron Guts and my Savages, I completely wiped them out. You can see I have lost basically nothing from my Savage Horde unit. I mean, I killed the BSB. I just wiped them completely out. Between my BSB and my War Boss and all my Savages, they're striking before everything other than his BSB, and his BSB really did nothing. It is very bad. They're wiped out. So now I'm not pursuing, I'm overrunning instead. So since I'm overrunning here, I think it's like where my BSB is supposed to be, it's not going to touch the storm vermin. So Ian's like, you move up and then you anchor and wheel on into the Mournfang, and Ben and Tom agreed that's what it does. So I don't hit the storm vermin, but I'm wheeling into the Mournfang, and then they have to complete the wheel, so it looks really, really funky here. But now I'm in combat with the Mournfang, and the storm vermin can't even see me. Now we have Skaven's turn 4. Charge a slave unit with the Grey Seer and BSB into the flank of my Savage unit, and then the storm vermin come here into the flank of the Squig Herd. I don't think they do much in Magic. They may have killed 1 biggin or something with Grey Seer doing something in my unit. Now then their Warp Lightning Cannon misfires and blows itself up, which is going to take us into combat. Now in the combat, my BSB is fighting his BSB. He can't hurt me. I do a wound to him. His slaves really do nothing to my Savages. I killed 3 slaves with my Savages. I really expected to do more than that. I take his Mournfang down to 1 guy. He kills about 8, I think, of my Savages. I lose by 2. I keep thinking this when we're adding this up that I lost by 1 because I thought I did 8 wounds to him. But they had forgotten that they didn't do their parries, and I didn't realize that. So I'm having like a 10-minute conversation with Ian about, I did 12 wounds, not 11. Nobody tells me that Tom had made a parry save until after like 10 minutes of this conversation. So you can see in this folded up picture here, Ben's getting kind of irritated about our conversation. So I lose by, I think, 2. I'm on 7 with a reroll, and I'm able to stick. Then they blow up my Squig Herd, and it kills a few more of my biggins. It kills some slaves, kills a couple storm vermin, and it kills a couple guys from my bunker. But at least the Squig Herd had also wiped out the Plague Monk unit, so it was a good push there. Now in Orc and Goblin turn 5, and Ian's Savage Horde is coming to the rear of the slave unit, which is pretty much going to spell doom for the army. And you can see Ben here, he's ready to do the old Flowers of Steel Shannon trick. So when we go into Magic, we get Ere We Go Off. It's like a bubble. It hits both of us. I don't even have to worry about trying to cast it. So both of us have Ere We Go. We just decimate their army. The slaves are going to blow up. All they're going to have left here at the end is the storm vermin and our little rat dart. So at the end of the game, their rat dart charges the Doom Diver. It's getting revenge on this Doom Diver, which has been plaguing it for most of the game. And so they take out the Doom Diver, and the Bullboy there, he was just a casualty from earlier. So we start off here, we have a victory for the double Orcs. And like I said, two Savage Hordes are incredible. I've already, after one game, I've decided if in ninth edition, if you can have allies, if you can ally from your own book, why would an Orc player not have double Savage Orcs? Unless, I mean, they'll probably, make Savage Orc being as terrible so they can sell other models, but if they don't, then why wouldn't you? Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this. This is our first game. We'll be playing against Dwarfs and Empire next. And they had beaten a double Warriors list, so this has made us really take pause. If they had taken out double Warriors, which we were worried about, this is something to be reckoned with. And they're going to have 3 cannons. I'll tell you that to start off with. They're going to have 3 cannons and a steam tank. So it's going to be scary. So I hope you guys enjoyed this one. I really enjoyed playing this. I had a whole lot of fun with double Orcs. If you guys like this, I hope you like it and subscribe and make any comments. And I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time.